Hey, I'm Sam and I do design, and in the video today, I'm doing portfolio reviews. It's been a long time since I've done videos like this, and in the last video, I actually reviewed my own portfolio, the one that got me my dream job where I'm working currently. So in this series, I'm asking you brave souls to send me in your industrial design portfolios, and I'm going to give them some critiques, some things that are maybe good about them, some things that are need improvement. And this is all just based on the experience that I've got as an industrial designer working in London. So without further ado, let's hop into the first portfolio. We've got here George. So thank you so much, George, for sending in your portfolio. And the first thing that I can see is that this first page is in portrait. And I think that if I scroll through, yeah, each thing now is going to be in landscape. Now, what this tells me about your portfolio straight off the bat before even looking at it is this is a portfolio made for a physical book, portrait book, that you've simply exported as a wide spread for wide screens. What that means is we have things like the 4 and the 5 down at the bottom signaling different pages when in actual fact it's just one. And we also have some big gaps on the side as well. So formatting, I can tell that you haven't put in the extra 5% to actually reformat it for a widescreen presentation. So what I'm going to do is just flick through the whole portfolio. This is exactly what recruiters will do, or any designers looking to recruit will just have a flick through and see what sticks out to them. I'm just going through the whole thing. 52 pages is a fair few pages in this one. Okay, so a lot of furniture in this. Okay, so we got to the end. Let's go right back up to the top. There's a few things that are sticking out. Like I said, the formatting is a little bit strange for a widescreen presentation. Also, let's start with this first project, which it's kind of like a non-project, I think, like coming soon, and then a blurred image, and then straight back into the next project. I almost just wouldn't include that at all. I get that you can't disclose things that haven't come out yet. I understand that. That's maybe a conversation for an interview later on, but you want to lead with your strongest projects in a portfolio. So to lead with something that's just blurry and you can't show, it's not setting a great example. Whereas something like this image, I think is a lot stronger. And we even have some behind the scenes images, which I think is quite nice as well. So to open on a nice image that I understand what the project is, it's going to be some furniture, and then to go into the behind the scenes and stuff, that's the perfect way around to do it. I would argue, as I was flicking through, I got confused with this sort of section here, because it seems like a different project. And it wasn't clear to me that the project had changed over. Exactly the same with this. And I think this layout of your page is supposed to be like the new product page, which is great, but I think it needs some more hierarchy. So the flatmates as a name needs to be potentially bigger. There's not so much difference between the title and the copy, the body text as well. Because now we're going back into that first cut project alongside, I guess that it's also a series, but I'm a little bit confused at this point about what project is starting and what project is finishing. These images are already nice. I really understand the whole project. And then with this one in particular, I think we're starting a new project again, but we're starting with a sketch. Which I think is the wrong way around to do it. I need to know the front cover, what is the project, I need to understand it in one image, which something like this would have been great. Maybe a little bit more context would be perfect in that. And then again, it's the same sort of feedback. So this portfolio has a lot of furniture in it. And I get, so like the way that you've got it is furniture up the front and then products nearer the back, I think I saw. So if we just skip through, so now we got some shoe design. and then some actual product or packaging, and then back into furniture. So I understand that you want to lead with your most confident work, not have fillers in the middle, but like show the skills in the middle, and then end on your most favorite piece as well. So that might be why you've gone from furniture to product and then back to furniture. But I think this is a good start for a portfolio to be able to pick and choose which projects you want to show for a specific company. I don't think you would apply to a company with all of these projects all in one, just because it's such a varied sector type of portfolio. I think that you want to submit with all of the furniture products to a furniture company and all of the products to a product design company. But overall, I think the projects are really nice, a really high level of finishing. To get these things made, to take it a step further from a sketch and a render has been really nice. It's just the storytelling aspect that you'll be looking at, the order of the projects, showing where a product finishes and where a project ends, and also the formatting of the portfolio itself. I just think these hero shots can speak for themselves, like more of this is great. To have more context shots would be amazing. Overall, yeah, great portfolio. Thank you so much, George, for sending that in. Next up, we have Che. So let's go into full screen. So this is what I mean about a landscape portfolio that's been specifically designed for viewing on screen. So I really appreciate that. And we have on here the contents page, which is nice. That almost means that I don't need to have a flick through the portfolio, because I can get a feel of what is being shown in the portfolio here. So I'm going to skip going through the flick through, and we've got Aerolith, and so it's a what was it, a speaker? Yeah, Bluetooth speaker inspired by Streamline Modern. And I think as design students, are you really a design student if you haven't done a product inspired by Streamline? It's great to see. I always enjoy seeing people's interpretation of it. And honestly, I quite enjoy the aesthetic itself. While I was a student, I really didn't enjoy the over-designed, streamlined effects. But now that I'm a little bit older, ever so slightly older, and I get constrained by clients wanting minimal boxes and things like that, I really appreciate just the freedom of these types of shapes. So that'd be really cool to see come back. So we're going straight into some prototyping and then some sketch. Okay. So this, I think, let's just go back a little bit there. The order is slightly wrong. So you've got some research on this one page, which is great. And then we just go straight into a almost fully realized foam model. And then we take a step back and we say, okay, these were the sketches to lead up to that. And then we have some final renders. Like, the order is slightly out. These renders are nice, by the way. I really like the look of them. Different colorways, nice to see. I'd like to see some more close-up shots of like what are the materials, like I guess metal. Is it a plastic with metal finish on it? Is it actually metal? Like, how are these pieces all coming together? Would be really, really cool to see. And I get it's a 2-month project for one person. That's a lot to do. But just like to finish it off just that extra little bit, I think would be really cool. Moving on now to some packaging, some alcohol champagne packaging. Nice to see some research. Yeah, putting post-it notes on a wall, classic. And let's see. Okay, this page is really nice. I like the flowing aspect of it. So it's we're starting on the left-hand side with some really rough sketches, nice and clean, but still rough. And then as we move through, each sketch gets a little bit more refined. I actually like this sketch more so than this last sketch. I think it's faster, it's freer. This seems more to me like it was part of the design process This final sketch here looks to me as if you've designed it and then gone back to sketch it afterwards with some reference to what is that detail going to look like on the spade there, for example. But overall, I really like this page. And we've got a walkthrough of how it's going to be used. Okay, so this is for delivery because it's on a map. So this is like ordering. Is this ordering? Wait. Oh, okay, so you can go right. Okay, I get it. Yeah, overall, it's nice. So some of these renders are pretty dark, and it's difficult to tell what's going on. And I completely understand that. At my last company, was rendering a lot of medical products, which is predominantly white plastic products on a white background. That's just how it has to be. And I guess that designing and rendering a dark product on a dark background, you're going to run into the same issues, which are contrast. How do you keep it looking white or black without making it look gray? If you're overlighting it or underlighting it, it's difficult to find that balance. So I completely get that. And this is a nice image at the end to show it in use. Okay, and that was the last. So it'd be interesting to know if you designed that web page, if that's their existing web page. I don't know. So it'd be good to maybe discuss that, or again, that might be something to discuss in the interview itself. And then moving through, we have more. Okay, so design for manufacturing. It's good to see the injection molding going on. It's always great to have that. Sometimes universities miss that manufacturing element out. And then this, what is this? We have the final product. Okay, so this is something that it looks at plants. Right, okay, so it looks at plants and tells you the plant. Okay, that's cool. Personally, I think this is the weakest project in here. It's just not refined as much as some of the others. It's nice to see the annotations over the models. It's good to see the storyboard and stuff like that, but just these pages like this show that it's not quite as considered as maybe some of the other ones. Like I'm looking here for like, where is, okay, so the PCB board is there. It's tiny, that PCB board. PCB board. No, just the PCB. I just think that it could do with a little bit extra refinement in some of these shapes. Like looking around, it's got like this octagonal radius piece here where it's flat running along here. It bumps up and over, goes flat again to meet the same surface as the main surface, and then dips down. And the fact that you've got quite a large chamfer to create this octagonal feature means that you have quite a big gap in between the rotation wheel and the space. So like these little tiny little things that I can pick up on, which just need extra time to work through and to understand. I'm guessing that if this is out and about in the garden, it might be muddy, dirty, raining, and that is a huge gap for things like that to fall into. So just a little bit of extra thought into things like that, I think would take this project a long way to becoming a little bit more refined. Overall, I think that was all of the projects. Yeah, overall, I think it's a great starting point for a portfolio, and I get for university projects, I completely understand that you submit a project and then you have to move directly onto the next project. It's non-stop. I completely understand that. Once you've finished and once you graduate and once you have a little bit of time to breathe, there is no harm in going back and revisiting some of the projects, making new renders for them, making new process shots for them, and just tweaking them to match the skills that you now have now that you've finished that project. Does that make sense? Like while you were doing the project, you were learning all the things as you were going along. And now there's no harm in going back and redoing some of these things now that you've got those skills. I do that in my portfolio as well. There is no shame beyond that. But Che, thank you so much for sending that in. Next, we have Anna. So let's have a look up here. We go to full screen. This is the one that fits my screen the best. And let's go through. So, hello, I'm Anna, Industrial Design. I like the introduction page. That's cool to see. We have another contents page. And what I can see straight off the bat with this one is this feature down here to tell you which page of the project you're on. I quite like that. So I know exactly, and it's a really clear title page for the project that I'm going to go on as well. Flicking through, okay, so this portfolio is slightly different. It's got a lot more information in it in pages like this, which completely goes over my head, I'll be honest. I don't really look at that in detail as much, but we're gonna just keep flicking through and then we can talk about a few talking points. Okay, and I know that in the email that you sent, you apologize for including the skills and rating yourself in terms of what skills you think you have as a designer. Whereas I've always said that that is exactly what a portfolio is for. I'm the one judging your skills on that. So I know in the email you were saying please be kind because I've included that and I'm sorry. So I'm going to be kind. Okay, so looking through, let's go back into full screen. Looking through, I like this chair. Like this, I don't think that chair featured in the portfolio. Was that a chair that you did? Because there's chair inspired by. That little caption sounds like you designed that chair, but it's not. It's not in here. I wonder why that is. I think that chair is maybe. I don't know. I know that I was talking before about tailoring the portfolio and maybe you're not going for furniture, although there is furniture in here. So I'm a little bit confused by that maybe. It'd be just nice to see it, that's all, which is I think quite a nice piece of advice to get. It's pages like this that I struggle with a little bit. I always talk about hierarchy in terms of how do I know when a project is starting and finishing? Where do I look on the screen? What is the most important piece of information? And in something like this, I get that everything is important in research, but I understand that. But the skill is to just show the top level, the headline in a portfolio like this. Don't forget, a portfolio is only there to get you into the room for the interview. So you need to grab my attention. What is the headline? What is the problem? How did I fix it? And what is the beautiful solution? That's pretty much what it needs to be. All of the details and all of the research and stuff can come later in the interview. So my advice would be to just distill all of this down, really work on the hierarchy, and it should be self-evident and shouldn't need all of the labels and all of the call-outs and things like that. I really enjoy pages like this. This is a great example of something that's really understand. I can see the title is huge, in context shot that I can see works, and it just describes the whole project perfectly. So I really like stuff like that. It's just when we get into the nitty gritty of the project, I think you show too much of the process, which is strange to say in the portfolio review. I know I normally say show more process, but yeah, I just don't know where to look in something like this. It's great to see that you've got the technical skills, highlighting all the components, some stress analysis. That's cool to see. So sometimes universities, like I say, just skip over the whole manufacturing element of it completely. And then, yeah, these in context shots I like. Again, I'm not quite sure where to look on the screen as I first see it. A page like this, maybe some more care could be done in terms of the gap being shown in between the top and the bottom images. There's no gap between the left and the right. And not only that, but the left and the right images are different sizes. So just care and attention for something like that, I think would be great. Yeah, I think if you need arrows to show where to look, then maybe you're understanding that it's difficult to read that page straight off the bat, and you're like compensating for that with the arrows and things. But I would just simplify it all. Okay, so yeah, that's all cool. Same sort of things. I like these images with it being shown, even if they are renders. Okay. Yeah, so I think overall it's going to be consistent advice throughout all of that. That bit at the end, a lamp sculpture. So you've also got like these little like, oh by the way projects in here, which could be projects on their own and have, you know, explanation and exploration about them in the portfolio. I think that'd be cool to see. I know that you have to tailor your portfolio, but then to tease these extra pieces, I think either include them or don't include them. I think that would be my piece of advice. But overall, a great selection of projects in there. I just think, you know, there's just too much about it. So thank you to Anna for sending in your portfolio. I really appreciate it. And thank you to everyone else as well. If you want to send your portfolio in for me to review, you can go to my website at samdoes.design, and I have a page on there. I think it's on my contact page where you can find my email and send it to me. Don't forget that I will not be blurring out phone numbers. I will not be blurring out email addresses. So anything that you want to show needs to be in that portfolio. Anything else needs to be blurred out, or just use X's or something to replace that detail. And thank you so much for watching. If you learned anything in this video, don't forget to let me know down in the comments below. I love reading about it. And don't forget to like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell button and everything else that YouTube asks you to do. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.